Welcome to the Sweet Tooth Way, where I believe in working strongly with what you have. Today's project is going to be firstly to make a cake board. Well, we have the cake board. I'm going to cover it in gold foil. And to do this, I have my gold foil, cake board, scissors, and some tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. The cake that we are going to be decorating today is a classic of mine. It's my famous chocolate caramel cake. I have this customer where every Christmas, she orders the biggest size there is of this chocolate caramel cake. Her and her kids absolutely enjoy it, and I love that they enjoy it as well. So I'm just going to cover the cake board. I'm not going to bring the foil all the way down into the middle to cover the bottom because no one is going to be seeing the bottom of the cake board. So this is a good way for me to save on my foil. There we go. So even though our brand offers cake boards, custom cake boards, here they are, 12-inch jeweled gold royalty. There's times when particular sizes, you're doing a certain size cake and you don't have a cake board for it. This is a good way to create one, to make one of your own. So once again, work with what you have and make it happen. You know what I mean? So this process literally takes about 5 minutes or less. Maybe the first time that you try to do this as a beginner, it might take some time to successfully achieve like the look that you really want on it, because it can vary sometimes, but just keep trying. And as fast as you see me going right now, I'm only able to go this fast because I've been doing this for some time now. So with practice and consistency, as I always suggest to beginners, you will achieve greater results. Bam! Here's our cake board. So, first part of our video is out the way. Now, I'm going to be frosting a chocolate caramel cake. My cake is already pre-baked. I had it in the refrigerator to make sure that it would be much easier to work with it. And let's see here. My cakes come out of the pan very easily because I have a easy release gel that I use. If you would like me to share this solution with you, to do a video tutorial on how I make it, please comment and let me know. So let's get this cake out of here. Oh, I like to do this as well. Loosen it up a bit. All right, so taking this. Oops. See here? Are you ready? I think this is the moment that a lot of bakers fear. Like, is my cakes gonna come out really good? But guess what? With this release gel, I guarantee you, none of your cakes will ever stick again, right? But I'm only going to share this if I get some mad comments to let me know that you really want to know what I use. So guess what? You know what? The proof is in the pudding. Let's do it. What did I say? What did I say? Bam. Nice and easy. So, I'm going to get my turntable involved. Alright. Let me see. Making sure, a good way to know if it's like straight, I like to use my countertop. Yep, it is. Alright. So I'm now gonna put some caramel on to this. My caramel is nice and thick. It's something that I have been using since I've started my business in 2019. It has absolutely served me well. It is nice and thick, it's delicious. I use it as a filling, I use it to frost cakes, and I have raving fans about my chocolate caramel cake. Not to just mention just the caramel by itself. Yeah. Alright, so going in with a scoop, I'm going to dollop it on first. I find this method to be a whole lot easier when working with the caramel. And I am now going to take my offset spatula, bam bam. I do have a bigger one. I'm wondering if I should use that one. You know what? I'm going to go in with this one first. So using my spatula, I'm just going in a back and forth motion to evenly spread out the caramel. And I know that this particular client loves caramel, so I want to make sure that they have more than enough to satisfy their sweet tooth this Christmas. For the record, she actually ordered this one and another, she ordered a 9-inch as well. Right. See? Getting there. As I go along, swoop on a little more. I am going to be using a pattern scraper to put some design on this. And these scrapers I recently purchased from the Creative Supply store. They are located here in Georgetown, Grand Cayman. So if you ever have any needs for some creative supplies, please do go and check her out. Go and check out that store. You will be happy that you did. Also there's Kirk's Home Center as well. Our cake boards, actually. Our cake boards are stocked at Creative Supply and Kirk Home Center and the A.L. Thompson store as well. So if you ever need any cake decorating supplies, you can go and support those local businesses. All of them are on Instagram as well. So just type in Creative Supply and then type in A.L. Thompson and then type in Kirk Home Center. That's Grand Cayman, by the way. So I'm almost finished. I'm almost finished. Let me make sure you can see this. I'm so sorry. All right, so just to give you a little story while I frost this delicious chocolate caramel cake. I used to sell this very cake when I was in high school for $1 a slice. So I would make $25 off of a bunt size, a 9-inch bunt size pan. And it amazes me to know that this very same cake that I'm doing today, you know, it's literally like what people absolutely love from our brand. And I'm like, yo, look at how long I've been selling this. Like, look how long I've been offering this. And that is one of the reasons why, you know, it means so much to me, because I know that it's something that people really find satisfying. You know, when they have a sweet tooth, they're like, oh my God, I love some Kamisha chocolate caramel cake. It's so nice and moist and delicious. So, you know, if you are a beginner, one thing that I would love to encourage you to do is the one thing that you know that you are really good at creating, you are eventually going to get people who are going to like it and support your brand. But you have to start. You have to start. And when you start, have faith and know that when one person buys and they enjoy, it eventually creates a snowball. So even though you might not have clients at first, like, trust me, keep creating and you will see how everything just starts to work out in your favor. Like, one person starts to tell the other person. You know, you have to remember that people work together, they live together, and they talk, right? So make sure that the product that you are raving about, make sure you can put your life on the line for it. This cake, let me tell you something, I can put my life on my head on a chopping block for this cake. This cake is absolutely the best chocolate caramel cake you will ever have. You heard me. I said it. So, saying that to say this, the one product that you know you are very good at creating, you just have to start with it. Literally, you have to start with it, and there will be a snowball effect created, and you will have many other things to offer as you go along. But you just have to start and remove that fear from your mind that you're not going to have any clients, you know, you're not going to be able to pay your bills, because that very same fear that those thoughts of fear that you're thinking about every day is the very same reason why it's happening. I kid you not, I've lived it. I've lived it. Honestly, I've lived it. Everything that I feared about when I started out in 2019, it has manifested, the good and the bad. So that is why I can stand here while I'm making this amazing chocolate caramel cake and say that to you. So just start with what you're good at. Start with what you're good at, man. Everything will work out just in time. All right, so almost finished. Want to make sure the edges isn't giving that naked cake kind of vibes. And one more, getting a naked vibe right here. Right, and just go over. See? I'm going to be doing a drip. I do have intentions to do a drip. So I want to make sure that everything is in place to make that happen. Right here. As you can see, I'm just taking my time while my daughter is sleeping, to be honest with you. There we go. Nice and beautiful. So I'm going to clean up the edges and get my chocolate drip and come back and show you the next step to the creation of this absolutely delicious cake. So I remember in 2019 when I started, one of the biggest fears I had was not having anywhere to sell my product. Well, what I learned was that as people started to buy from me one by one, then two by two, and three by three, by them being more familiar with the product, I gained more confidence to start approaching businesses like local convenience stores, gas stations, and I just went and approached the owners, and I also carried samples of my product. These are products that I know for sure are like amazing, and that was my way of like reaching out to them. I felt that the best way is to provide them with the proof that's in the pudding, provide them with a sample of your product for them to try and then make their decision based on that. So by doing so, I was able to start closing, or I should say start attaining business relationships with gas stations, supermarkets, local convenience stores, and stuff like that. So if you happen to be in that area of frustration where you're wondering like, okay, how can I, or where can I, those are some tips for you. You know what? Okay, so going in with some chocolate drip. I have some chocolate ganache that's already prepared. Chocolate ganache is a combination of chocolate and heavy cream. I melted it down in the microwave for about 1 minute to be precise, and I made sure that it was at the consistency that I was pleased to work with. If not, I would have just put it back in the microwave for a little bit more. So once it's out of the microwave, I mix it up really well until it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to be applying some chocolate drip. You hear my chickens? Or the Caribbean chickens, I should say. Alright, so we're going to be applying our drip, okay? And it's really just about steady hand motion. I don't want this one to fall down too much because the cake doesn't have that much height. So I'm honestly just giving it that drippy look. So when they see the cake, it just looks so scrumptious and delicious. So as you can see, applying steady hand, steady pressure, breathe. And be patient with the process. Coming to the end, it can kind of get a little bit nerve-wracking. You're like, oh my god, I'm almost done. But just keep that steady hand. Bam. You kind of agree. You can definitely agree. This looks delicious. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get this into the refrigerator to just make everything set and have a nice little relationship before I apply just some chocolates and maybe some strawberries to add some decoration to this. But for the most part, this is how I execute the decorating of a chocolate caramel cake the sweet tooth way. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe.